And today's video is going to be about ESPN and kind of Disney. It's one of those videos that might be all over the place because I'll touch on a few different things. So I wanted to make a video because I am a huge sports fan, and of course we know what's going on in the world. And probably the past few years, people call ESPN woke. I understand, I get it. So by being the woke and go broke thing, ever since they went more towards, I guess you want to say, the wokeness, they've actually had a bunch of layoffs. They're losing money left and right. The ratings on all their shows pretty much suck. And of course, over the weekend, they had the biggest set of layoffs they've ever had, where they got rid of some really big names, some names I was really surprised about, and they kept a couple people that they shouldn't have. But anyways, that's kind of whatever. And if you're a fan of ESPN or sports or whatever, as you know, ESPN is owned by Disney. So you can kind of put two and two together there. I mean, I don't have a huge problem with Disney. However, it seems like everything they've touched lately has went to shit. You name it. A lot of people feel like they killed the Star Wars franchise. Not doing good with the new Indiana Jones movie. A lot of their other movies that they put out been pretty trashed. If you look at social media and how many movies have flopped, or their movies or have some kind of agenda in the movies that people are kind of tired of that stuff being pushed on them. I was kind of a fan of the Star Wars movies, however, a lot of people weren't, of the newer ones anyways. But with that being said, it seemed like ESPN really took a turn. I don't want to say for the worst or how people viewed them. It seemed strongly after the Kaepernick situation, after kneeling. And of course the George Floyd thing and a lot of the BLM and a lot of different things. They push, promote that people feel like they're pandering. They have agendas, all kinds of different things, which is pretty much push people completely away from the network. The network is in trouble. If you look at any of the ratings or statistics or anything behind them, it's really doing really bad. So that kind of is the reason for a lot of the layoffs that happened over the weekend. So I don't know. Disney here, of course, in Florida, between Disney and Ron DeSantis, I mean, they got this back and forth war going on. A lot of weird stuff happening at Disney. Some people are for it. Some people are obviously against it. And with ESPN being owned by them, it's kind of like this. You can kind of see ESPN following basically everything Disney does, the way they push certain agendas. I know with some of the layoffs, they do blame it on the fact that Pat McAfee is actually going off FanDuel and joining ESPN. And of course, they're giving him all this crazy amount of money when some of the employees feel like they could be paying them instead of adding Pat to the network. But, you know, that is what it is. ESPN was in trouble way before the Pat McAfee situation. And no matter how much trouble ESPN continues to be in, and or Disney, they seem to keep doing the same shit over and over and over. And that's why I get confused with companies that are losing so much money, but they're still continuing to do all the same things that's making them lose the money. And I just don't understand it or what is behind it. There's a bunch of different theories, of course, different scores and different maybe organizations, groups, or people behind that push all the buttons on all this stuff, even maybe the president. So it's pretty crazy that these companies are doing things that's making them lose so much money, but they can't help it but continue to push these things, these agendas, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get too much into social justice stuff, BLM, the LGBTQ, the trans movement. I mean, we all know what they are already. We're down the board. I don't want to say we're 50-50 down it. But it's pretty crazy. You go online, you go on YouTube, you look at social media, anything, just the movies, everything seems like it's trying to push one thing, and it's like they're not gonna stop. No matter how much money they lose, they're not gonna stop until they continue to push whatever it is onto people. And it's pretty crazy. They're willing to lose as much money as possible, I assume, to prove or do whatever it is that they're trying to do. I mean, some people say they're trying to get to the kids through movies and just push agenda through sports. There's so many different theories, so many different things people say online that is the reason that these companies are doing it. But whatever the reason is, it seems like Disney is hurting. They're not doing well at all. None of their movies are doing any good. ESPN is flailing away. I don't know. I don't know where change comes from or what they're going to do. Keep pushing away until, I don't know, till everything, people give up and they just say, you know what, I'm done fighting, and everything, and they just let things go, and they continue to maybe to start watching Disney movies again that have been pretty much crap, or ESPN again, which if you go on ESPN, depending on the show, maybe Sports Center, you'll get sports. A lot of these shows where they're going back and forth, they're a little more driven race-wise and pushing different movements, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I watch these sports debate shows, and it's like, you guys going to really talk about sports at all? Or is it just going to be movements and pushing certain things, or what are we doing? So I don't watch a whole lot of sports like ESPN anymore anyways, so it's not a big deal to me. I just remember growing up, ESPN was way, 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 way different than it is now. And they had a good core group of guys, but as they went through, you know, some have left to do more independent stuff. Some have went to FX1 or FS1. Some have just been laid off. Like over the weekend was crazy. I mean, they laid off some really big really big people from their network, and I think there's more to come. I don't know who they're going to replace them with. So if you don't know what was going on over the weekend with ESPN and you turned on your TV Monday, you might have had a culture shock on where your favorite people went. Because if you were on vacation, you were out and about, and you came home and it was like, oh, I'm going to watch my favorite show today. I'm going to watch Max, Jay Williams, and Keyshawn Johnson. We're going to watch the morning show and the radio show. Well, all the just about most of the radio shows have been canceled, and most of those guys have been fired. So if you woke up looking for your favorite shows today on ESPN, you probably didn't find them. But let me know what you think, or what you think is going on, and why things are the way they are. Maybe I'll make another video with a more in-depth analysis on the way I think things are going in the world. But I kind of just wanted to deal with the Disney ESPN thing, because it's kind of what is going on in the world, or what is going wrong in the world, as they just can't keep anybody. They really don't have the money. Everything they do seems to just go to shit. I don't have a huge problem with Disney. There's a couple things. And of course, ESPN, there's a couple things that kind of annoying. But for the most part, it seems like they've dug their own grave at the moment. But we'll see what happens. It's just crazy. So much change going on. Every time you look, there's just so much going on. And it's like, Disney was like that dream world where dreams come true for kids and maybe even grown-ups. Sports took you out of whatever was going on in the world that was depressing or had people stressed out or bummed out. You could relieve yourself, not maybe the best terminology there, but you could distance yourself from all the stress and drama and craziness of the world by going to see a Disney movie or watching sports. But now it's all connected as one. You watch Disney movies and you still can't get away from things that are going on in the world. And not only that, it's actually being pushed down your throat. Then you go on the ESPN and you want to get out of the political realm, get away from racism, political stuff with women and all this other crazy stuff. But then you turn on ESPN and it's like, oh, well, they're talking about everything that's driving me crazy in the world already. And you just, there is no, and I think maybe that's why people are going crazy or really getting depressed, because, you know, suicide and depression is crazy now. It's through the roof. People are going, I mean, really crazy. It's really bad because we're losing our ways to escape from worldly things. I mean, you can still go to church and prayer and stuff, but entertainment stuff like movies, like sports, because even if it's not ESPN, a lot of sports is now political. The WNBA is terrible. Nobody really likes it. They make absolutely no money, but it's around because they are a billboard. That's all the not WWE. The WNBA is nothing but a social justice billboard. That's all it is. They're the ones that are always speaking out. They're not getting paid enough. They don't have rights. They're not doing this. They lack this. They lack that. But they're not making a penny. They're not making any money, and they want all of this stuff. So I just think at this point, they're just a billboard that they're being used for all these movement, either political or social justice movements. That's what the WNBA is here. But it's like that. I mean, hockey, baseball, football, so many political things, or the, you know, Pride Month and Pride this, Pride that, that's another video. And I love all people, so I don't want to bash anybody. But there's a whole group of people who are tired of this stuff being, you know, basically shoved down their throat, when sports and movies were the one thing that got them away from a lot of this stuff. But now, you know, say if you're somebody that doesn't like, you know, you're just not a big Pride person, and you want to watch your game, and then, oh, there's more Pride stuff, and then you turn it on, this movie, oh, there's more, there's this and that, and there's no escape. Which, you know, we all should love each other, but I'm just trying to give examples to some people that deal with certain things, because certain movements, you're not recommended, you're required to follow these movements. You go against some of these movements, they will come for you, and they will bash you, and you'll be the worst person on the earth, though they can hate whatever they want. However, if you don't like what they're doing, then you're one of the worst persons in the world. Like I said, that's another video, but love all people. But it's just crazy. I mean, we're just losing all of our outlets. I mean, you can't really watch sports. You go on ESPN. Hey, you got favorite guys you watch on ESPN. They're probably gone. You like watching, I don't know, whatever movie, Disney. Well, it probably sucks now. They're doing another remake, changing race or doing whatever that people are they just can't get away from social justice issues or political. And anyways, I kind of went on a little tangent there. But the main thing was, you know, with Disney and ESPN, they just got a lot of problems, and it's starting to show. So I don't know where we go from here, or where they go from here. Will they change it all, or will they keep pushing these agendas? I don't know. Like, subscribe, Tommy Guns, and I'm out, baby.